Ladies and gentlemen, Hussein here from the BackYourself podcast in the lab, ready to preview round 24 of the NRL. Few rounds to go until finals footy, but there's still a bit of cooking to be done for the next 3 weeks until we get there. Welcome, Christopher, to the set. How are you feeling, my friend?
Why'd you change the intro, bro?
What was it supposed to be?
I don't know. Usually you say some other garbage.
Well, there's not really that much on the horizon for me. Well, I could go back to the well. Just fucking give us a like and a comment. I'm not asking for much.
Yeah, that's what plug.
When all else fails, I mean, come on, boys.
I mean,
We're here fucking starving, putting in hours, and all you cunts are just sitting at home like, yeah, there's those two morons again. I watch their videos, but I won't like them. Come on, boys.
they love watching it.
I love making it, man. I'll be honest.
I feel like
It's
we got to
great.
be like more outlet. We need to hit like more clubs.
Nah, the ones we hit they're the key ones. What good does me coming and screaming at fucking...
Well, they'll get the best
who
of it.
can we scream? Who have we not yet screamed at? That was like, there's an opportunity out there. I'm here fucking screaming at Dolphins, for God's sake. No one gives a shit.
Who's an opportunity we haven't screamed? Cowboys has been a while, but their fans don't exist, so I don't know. We're kind of like, we're so like past Cowboys, it doesn't
if
matter.
our podcast was a litmus test for the NRL, there's actually like 3 clubs. Warriors, Dogs, and fucking Penrith, where we start screaming at them.
Oh, that's coming. That's a few more weeks.
But it might come early, baby, because there is a grand final rematch on Thursday night where the Melbourne Orm play the Penrith Panthers, and we may as well just jump straight into ins and outs because there's a bit to chat about here, folks.
He hasn't healed.
The Penrith Panthers are running out the same 17
Yeah, but Yo's still out. That's huge.
But yes, Yo is still out, which I actually did expect him to run
I
out
can't
there and
believe
try,
he played that whole game against Titans. What a try, first of all. If you were that injured, why did he play the rest of the game?
Yeah, shoulder subluxations are a bit weird, but I feel like because they've been fortunate enough to win 50 in a row,
They don't need him.
they're not under this fucking... They're not under duress.
They're waiting for him to
keep
come
running
to
out there.
Raiders.
A blow for Melbourne with star fullback Ryan Pappenhausen being sidelined with concussion. So Mick Meaney slides to fullback. And a back-yourself favourite, Marion Seve, returns to centre for his first NRL game since round 4 of last year. The forward pack and the bench remain unchanged from last week's dismantleization of Broncos. Now spread all the way 4.5 off the back of Ryan Pappenhausen and Jerome Hughes and a few others. Warbrick, Howarth, Nelson's still not there through Craig Bellamy's own fucking choice because he's sick of this cunt getting sent off every game. 4.5, Chris.
I think Nelson will come in, though. He's in the reserve, so he'll
Yeah,
probably...
look,
they're going to need him.
Their first matchup since the grand final, and it has been a bit of an interesting tell between these two clubs in recent memory. Penrith obviously made their first grand final, lost to Cameron Smith and co. Since then, it has been a little bit more back and forth of... Melbourne has kind of actually got the better of them in the regular season games multiple times in a row. They went to Bluebet and won the other year for no reason. They actually beat them earlier this year in the Nathan Cleary concussion game. I think they beat them last year as well when they kept kicking to Eli Katoa. But obviously, when the palms get sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, we had Penrith going to fucking Sunshine Coast and eliminating them in that annoying George Jennings dropped that game. And we also had last year's grand final where Melbourne scored the first try and then...
Yeah, essentially.
I feel like we are robbed of a true grand final rematch between the injuries on both sides. Isaiah Yeo obviously is a big loss, but conveniently outside of that, these cunts have everyone, and Melbourne at this point are a little bit short on troops. Running out centre pairing of Seve and fucking Joe Chan, like that's not what should be running out for them in a high leverage game like this, but that's where we are. Chris, talk to me. How do you think this one plays out? Do Penrith keep rolling?
Well, I'm not going to back any team to win 10 in a row, as I was the first and only to say that Dragons would beat Raiders to stop their 10 in a row, and guess what? Dragons did it, so why can't Melbourne do it? It's a simple case as that.
Because it's Penrith, bro.
Okay, we get it. But let's look at Penrith's strengths here, right? They like beating the shit out of them through the middle of the park. Obviously, that's a bit not as apparent without Yo. Even though Papali is a fantastic player and look, is the Dally M second rower of the year, he just isn't Yo, which is fine. On the Melbourne side, like not having Hughes and Pappy, I think a lot of this falls onto what Munster will come up with in this game. Now, the fact that he hasn't played a decent game since Origin, convenient enough, he might actually show up in this game. And I'm not actually surprised if Melbourne do. Do they have enough to go with Penrith? I think they do. And is the price I mean, no one's going to back Melbourne, so it's fine. Maybe I'll be the only one. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, okay, everyone's absolutely faded this team to oblivion. Everyone's backed Penrith at 1, pick 'em, whatever price, knowing, well, they may have known Pappy's not going to play because of concussion, which I think this is a Melbourne thing that they've just kept him out. But this is a good tester for all these players. In the grand final, we saw Melbourne obviously were full strength, no Nelson, but full strength, and they were stopped offensively, and Hughes at that point was the Dalian Player of the Year. Now, is that Penrith team the same as what we're getting on Thursday? No. Well, one, Yo's not there, but also they've lost other players from that team, i.e. Luai.
Taruva, a few others.
Yeah, a few others, right? So it's not the same team, and I think in this case, I will happily take the Melbourne Storm +4, if not to win this game outright. Now, will it be the bane of my existence if they win this game and then lose the grand final to them? Yes, of course. But I actually think the Melbourne team hasn't really showed their best. And the fact that they don't have all their stars will make every single one of their players, all 13 out there, show their best no matter what. And I think they can go with Penrith if they play their best. And I think that's what we're going to get on Thursday. It's a big occasion, a game that Melbourne can essentially knock off, like any hope Penrith can come into the top 3 and leave it up to themselves and Dogs, and also put a lot of pressure on Bulldogs to make sure that they beat the Roosters come Friday, because Bulldogs will be watching that game with a keen eye, because Bulldogs can leapfrog Melbourne and get a home final. So I'll happily take the Melbourne Storm at +4, $2.50 to win outright. I think this Penrith team is due a loss, and at this point, they're going to get a loss against a team that no one expects a loss to come. And I thought it was last week against Knights, but I guess it's got to be Melbourne with Wishart, which essentially, if this team didn't have a Melbourne jersey on, it would be equivalent of Knights at this point, plus Munster. So
And Grant as well.
Grant. You're the number one advisor of Grant.
I might have to copy-paste my script from last week for last week's Penrith game.
Just lose.
I despise everything about betting on this game. On the one side,
Unders.
Penrith still don't have Yo. They are priced as if they are GOAT.
Correct.
And on the look ahead, which, fuck me, you boys get ready for next week's preview. They are priced as if they are back to being
Old Penrith.
With
Blue Bet.
But, and this is what I wanted to do on the podcast with you lovely gentlemen today. Because I think this is very relevant.
It's next week at Blue Bet. Is it built?
Yeah, they built it, bro. Fucking scumbags. All right. This dynastic run that fucking Penrith have gone on to leapfrog everybody in the NRL and even a few NBA teams to go to the top of the mountain started where they played the Parramatta Eels without Moses, who are literally the worst team in the history of the NRL, and beat them 18-10. Well done, Penrith. From there, they beat my dog shit Tigers, who were awful at that point of the year, 18-14. So impressive, Penrith. This win was actually fantastic. They went with no players to Warriors and beat their ass down the fucking wall. Should have started from that week. 28-18, literally without one Origin player. That was very impressive. Then their fourth win, you had the infamous Nathan Cleary charge down game where Dogs couldn't score more than one try. I would put that down to a bit of luck, but it was impressive how they
defended,
managed to keep Dogs out of their in goal for fucking 8 hours. So that was also impressive. Here comes Para again without Moses to get destroyed by Penrith. There's another win. Here comes Souths with nobody to also get destroyed by Penrith. There's another win. Here come Tigers, who suck ass, as I mentioned earlier, 36-2. That was impressive. They did methodically dismantle them. Here comes the Penrith trainer to rob Titans of what would have been imagine they beat Penrith and then lost to Souths. What that would have given up. 30-26 was your full-time score, and then here comes what's left of the Knights. No, again, so they played Titans without Tino and Kinney and all their best players. They played Knights without Ponga and Sharp and Dylan Lucas. So this is just week after week, and now they're fucking facing Melbourne without Pappy and without Hughes and Howarth and all that I mentioned. So this is actually really fucking frustrating me at this point, because these cons, all anyone sees is 9 in a row. Wow, no one can beat this team, but who were really set up to actually have success against these morons? Dogs, who lost by 2 in as I mentioned, the charge down game. And outside of that, that's it. So would I tip Melbourne? Yeah. Honestly, I might lay 5.5 with Melbourne if the boys, everyone was there. I know they'll go out and destroy these cunts. But in a game where I know Melbourne's going to be up for it in terms of the situational spot, the revenge of the grand final, it means more to them and all those things. I feel like Penrith are kind of, like you mentioned, they're due a flat spot, and they were due one last week. But they just keep on winning, and after you keep on winning for long enough, it kind of like you run into a wall randomly, and that might happen in this game, which kind of keeps me off laying 4.5 with them, knowing what kind of effort I'm going to get from Melbourne. But on the other side, Melbourne, they haven't been playing great either, and even though they beat Broncos by as many points as they did last week, I'm not ready to fucking tip these cunts to go and win with literally no players except Grant and Munster, who, as I always say, Munster literally, I don't think he's played a good club game for 12 months. So for that reason, I'm good, bro. I don't want to tip either of these more.
I'm gonna caveat for everyone, because I know his thought process in advance. He doesn't want to save Melbourne, but in deep down, he wants to save Melbourne because he wants Raiders, his green milk, to dismantle this team next week.
Mate, and this is why we have a podcast together.
Yeah, see? Because I know he knows they can't lose two in a row.
I want Penrith to win this game by
5.
36 points. Go and win 40-4, and then I want Raiders to go put a $4 head to head because it's Penrith, bro. They won 10 in a row. I'll see you pretty boys at Mudgee next round in a game that I give a shit about.
Mudgee.
Yeah,
they never win there.
Yeah, good. Canberra are good there.
Canberra's
fucks. Speaking of being good, the Dragons, who are very good at fucking in the confinements of the area that they're from, are leaving the motherlands and going overseas to New Zealand to take on the Waz. Shout out to the Waz fans. But more importantly, shout out to the Zerafos brothers. Can you cunts three-peat is the question of this podcast. And we will see what troops you'll be riding into battle to go to New Zealand. Andrew Johns Tanner Boyd gets a recall at halfback with Tamari Martin being sidelined with a concussion. A massive in at hooker with Wade Egan overcoming a shoulder injury to take his place. And hold your ears, Queensland fans, Kurt Capewell will miss this game through concussion. Obviously, Andrew Webster watches the podcast, so Halasima returns into the starting side. And Eddie Jeremiah Toava joins the bench for his second career game. When the fuck was the first one?
When they had no players, I think.
Dragons, one centre returns in Matt Fearnai, but another one goes out in terms of Moses Sully with his knee injury.
Better ones,
while last week's debutant Hayden Buchanan retains his spot to try and two-peat as a personal milestone for him.
He was good.
Michael Muller returns from an ankle injury on the bench alongside Pacifica Tonga in his first NRL game since round 18. The money man, Christian Tuipulotu, is enlisted among the reserves after he returned to the field in New South Wales Cup last week from more hamstring dramas, and he has a chance of pushing in on game day. A spread of 5.5. I've said is that it for the last 2 weeks with Dragons, so I'm going to shut my mouth and show some respect and defer to you as the Dragons whisperer for this fixture and the ambassador of Warriors hate. What do you think of this one, champion? Will Down the Wires continue?
Well, I can't quit.
There's no reason. They haven't given you a reason to quit.
They haven't given me a reason to quit. I'm very profitable downing the Wires. Listen, if my whole thought process continues that these cunts have given up, Dragons will win because I know Dragons will show fight for no reason. It's not like they're going to go there and give up. Their give up spot is next week because I know that in advance. But truly, if we're just looking at the number, this is completely wrong. I mean, this Warriors team isn't that awful to only be 5.5 at home to Dragons. Come on. I mean, someone needs to wake up somewhere, especially you New Zealand fans, because you better back them this week. There is no reason for Dragons to go there and win at all. Warriors have so much more incentive than Dragons, yet this is 5.5. So, in terms of the whole series, unfortunately, I have to bet on Dragons. But I feel like this is the one game that I feel like they don't have a chance of winning. Like, I'm kind of like, I feel like I should be on Warriors, but every other game I was like, you know what, the other team could win.
You've backed yourself into a corner with your series.
Well, there is that, but also to put the pinnacle. Only people on the podcast will truly hear this because, like, when I actually show the video of at the tab, I'm going to be so confident Dragons are going to win because, but deep down, let you guys know, I don't think they'll win this week. But I will back them. And on top of that, and I'll make a promise to you, I will go to, if it's an option, and obviously he'll get voided if he doesn't play, I'll also put 250 on the money man to score. To make sure salt rubs into the woods and I will, for every Warriors fan, if Dragons end up winning outright and the money man scores, I will do my own money man with all 3 bet slips on there. So the money man is complete. And truly, if the Warriors do lose this game against Dragons, I think the series can just wrap up. It's over. Like, I've done my damage. It's finished.
I agree with you, yeah.
It's over. What's the point? Like, how many times have I bet against you? Like, it's over. No, they play Titans. I have to back against them. It started it was the whole circle.
If they get raped by Dragons, they could go there and pick them, for God's sake.
Yeah, then it's getting ridiculous. But, yeah, truly, just point spread value and what it looks like. Warriors should not be 5.5. I should be getting at least 8, but I get the number that I'm delivered, so it is what it is.
In my opinion, Wade Egan might be one of the most valuable players in the league that doesn't shift the point spread a fucking half a point, right? In the middle of the park, they have fucking seriously missed him this last
they have.
2 weeks / 70 minutes of the Titans game. Conveniently, when he was on, these guys were up 10-0 against the Titans, but as soon as he goes down, now they fucking literally turn into, we can't win a single game. And that's very fucking linked to each other. In addition to that, as we said, well, the true BackYourself fans would know, I think Tamara Martin's an awful player, right? So having Tanner Boyd back in there, both kicking game-wise and everything else, is a big help. Capewell is a loss, like we said, but I feel like they have the depth to cover him with Halasima starting. They probably don't lose that much. The ins are much bigger than the outs. On the Dragon side of things,
wow.
I tipped my hat off to you guys and I said, look, I'll show Dragons respect anytime they're playing at Cogra or the Gong. I'll think twice about betting against this team because they are a team possessed. But they're not playing at either of those fucking stadiums this round. And I know in my heart of hearts, 5.5 is pretty short, bro. Like, it's Dragons.
Yeah, I know.
Sure, Raiders went and made 17 errors and lost outright. Sure, Sharks made 17 errors and lost outright. Did Dragons have a lot to do with those errors? Yes, absolutely they did. They have been defending like the Great Wall of China. But as we mentioned in the Penrith fixture, these teams can stay up for so long. Penrith can do it for 5 years. Don't worry about them. But Dragons, 5 minutes is hard for these cunts, let alone 3 rounds. And I just don't see the incentive. The Waz, with Penrith playing Melbourne and fucking Canberra in upcoming week, these morons are a win away from being back in the 4 anytime soon. So, and I feel like even on your series, right? And our comments are actually a good gauge. Even the Warriors fans are fucking checked out on the year, right?
Yeah,
so imagine the rest of the punters riding into this game with Dragons having the 2 wins that they've had, and even the fucking loyalist fans of Warriors don't give a fuck about them. Now it's the time to buy back on these cunts at 4.5. Come on.
That's my point, is that are the Warriors so far gone that they don't give a shit themselves? And
oh, okay.
Like the players.
Yeah.
And that's my concern. Because I know Dragons will give a shit going there. As much as we think they'll just go, they won't give up. Dragons have effort regardless of where they are. Like, they've showed effort even though they're awful against Cowboys. At least they had the fight to come back.
Yeah,
they could have given up, right?
No, you're right, yeah.
And that's my concern with Warriors and concern with another team, which we'll get to later in the podcast as well. But I just don't, like, I know their season isn't done, but I think they don't know that. And that's my concern. And a great point that you made is the gauge is the fans. The fans don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And that's a concern. If the fans don't give a fuck, like, the players know what's happened the last 3 weeks. And they honestly know deep down they should have lost that Knights game as well. Don't worry, they know.
Yeah, this has been a
month of just awful footy, and they've lost to 2 bottom teams that are literally fighting for the spoon.
Honestly,
that's my concern.
From the point Metcalf went down with his knee injury, and we came on and we said, your season is cooked without this guy. They haven't played one good half of footy since he got injured.
No, they haven't. No.
So that just goes to show that we were actually on the money about 6 weeks ago. And we have been every single round leading up to this point, including the fucking Knights game. But now we're kind of flipping of like, all right, at a certain point, our Warriors now that bad to be 5.5 to these guys? I would say no. I think they'll get the job done. I actually think they might win by like 14 or 16.
It's either this week or next week.
Yeah, they're going to win.
Like, next week is ridiculous. That the early mail's 2.5.
Yeah, and
against the team covered last.
There is part of me that I can't unsee the last time Dragons went on the road, the infamous Townsville game. As I mentioned in the previous preview, one of the most abomination of halves I've seen the team play. I mean, Dragons, wow.
Yeah, awful.
Moving on, where the shout-outs begin.
Oh, no. It's Roosters as well. It's
a 4-hour job. The mighty Roosters are taking on the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs at 8 p.m. on a Friday night where the Roosters are being shown some love in the market, getting 2 points in this one. And here are the changes. Trent Robinson has taken out Siwa Wong from the starting lock position due to a concussion. So Victor Radley will take his spot, and Nafahu White goes to prop. Egan Butcher comes back from the bench into the starting side, and Blake Steep joins the interchange. So a whole bunch of nothing, in my opinion. Who cares? Cameron Serraldo goes with the same 17 that got the job done against the Warriors. However, Billy Slater, a.k.a. Connor Tracy, is in the reserves and potentially might run out there if possible. Shout out to you, Matthew.
Oh.
I don't know if you deserve a shout out this week, Matthew, because for the
He's going
first
against
game of this season, you are scared of an opposition, a.k.a. no one wants to see the freight train of Nwangani Tuwase coming down, especially if Rinikama's there. But I believe in this Bulldogs team. So shout out to you, Matthew. Shout out to you, Chris Creas, Tim, all the other gentlemen in the fucking comments of this podcast that wave the blue and white flag every week. Shout out to Kuraz. I truly hope I don't have to fucking watch you play fullback again. Shout out to Rinikama. You had a good run, but I think it's over.
No, it's Tawala for sure.
He can go back tonight, so that'll be.
Yeah,
my
I think
preference.
Tawala will be out.
Shout out to Bronson Jerry. You probably will score this week like every other round. Shout out to Stephen Crichton. Will the heavens open like they did last week? Probably not. Or you never know with the Roosters. Shout out to Tuala. You do have a chance of scoring because you're no longer in a Knights jersey. Shout out to Burden. Can you play 2 good games in a month? That's my $1 million question with you. Shout out to Galvin. A 9th statue is being built as we speak. Shout out to Max King. The only blue you will wear, hopefully for the sake of the state, is the Bulldogs blue. Shout out to Bailey Hayward, the greatest hooker since Cameron Smith himself. Might play more NRL games than Cameron Smith even did. Can he get to 500? That's the $1 million question. Shout out to Sam Hughes, still thinking about the hat trick he almost got the other week. Shout out to Kikau, because he deserves it. He's a good player. Shout out to Jacob Preston, future captain of Australian Kangaroos and New South Wales. Shout out to Salmon. They still haven't hacked into his iPhone and gotten rid of the photos that he has of Serraldo. Or Gus. Maybe both. Shout out to Kurt, man. You cut him, he bleeds Maroon. Shout out to Harry Hayes. He will also be alongside Preston as vice captain of New South Wales. I'm sick of this segment. Shout out to Karen, because why not? And shout out to Reid Marnie, who has then been demoted to the 12th best hooker in Canterbury.
You know, I was just
2.5.
Anyone new that comes to watch our podcast truly will think
I wonder if anyone sits through all that. You let me know in the comments below.
Surely, Matt does. Surely. It's great. You didn't shout out Kira, Billy Slater.
Shout out to Billy Slater for rushing back to destroy Roosters. And shout out to Serraldo.
And Gus.
The man that didn't know Galvin but signed him.
Now we can talk.
Now we can talk footy, Chris. The Roosters, I've had a good read on these motherfuckers. 8 games in a row. I've tipped their spreads right. So before I revealed my grand fucking prediction.
What the plan is.
You can give me your thoughts. Are the Roosters live to win this one, or will the Dogs of War go marching?
All right. Roosters, truly deep down, your fans know this as well. You can't win 3 in a row. This is too dumb. I mean, it's a simple game plan. Robinson, I know you don't watch the podcast. Otherwise, you would have been sacked already. But I know you don't watch the podcast. It's all right. It's a simple game plan. Get the ball to Savala. Get the ball to Sam Walker. Because you're going to get 10 metres out, 15 metres out at some point. You'll get some calls. And just kick the ball to Tupou or kick the ball to Mark. It's a very simple process. Now, will you guys execute this process? Probably not, because it's Roosters. But they have the worst winger matchup on matchup scenario that I've seen in the last couple of weeks. And you seem to kick to Mark every other week, so I don't see what the change is with Nari out there. But my concern is on the Dogs side. I think Dogs will win somehow. But what concerns me in this game is that Sorrell's going to do something dumb on the day. I have a weird feeling.
He's going to put some more onto wing.
And I feel like it's going to be the captain himself. He's going to put his hand up for no reason. And truly, if they do that, you're going to yell at them, because every time they do changes, they always
fuck
lose.
it up, yeah.
But I think this time it might work for once in a miracle world, because Roosters shouldn't really roll through the middle of the park. That's Dogs' strength, as we've said for weeks. So really, they really have the one play that I'm saying. So hopefully Serraldo does some genius play. And I would look, honestly, Anari has played centre. He's an awful centre, but at least he's played centre. I would move Anari to centre and put Crichton on the wing with Kiraz on the other side and Tracy at fullback. And let's see what they can do through the middle of the park. Because Roosters, essentially, what I've said from week 5 is that all they do is just kick. And that proven they have. All they do is kick and bat it back through mark and score every time. And to their credit, at least the last couple of weeks, when they've played Dolphins, even though they were underdogs for some reason. Manly, who've given up on the season. They're actually able to score points, which I gave them credit last week. At least they score 64. I don't see any other motherfucker scoring 64, let alone these good teams that are good offensive. These cunts can't score.
A la Sharks.
A la Sharks. And badly themselves. Why can't you score? I don't know.
Wait till I get to the Tigers game.
But at Cowboys, 18 points was enough against Para, was it? But my point is, at least Roosters score, right? So if you nullify them scoring through their stupid garbage kicking, you should beat them through the middle of the park, realistically. And then I would say I would lean Dogs. Now, if I'm saying that Tracy doesn't play and Kiraz plays fullback, it's going to be very hard for me to put $1 on Bulldogs this game if that's the lineup that we've just seen. Because, holy shit, all Roosters need to do is literally tune into this 2-minute part of the podcast and they'll beat Dogs. Because if they get down there, who's going to catch it? No one's going to be close to Mark. He's literally going to catch it. He already stops time within midair. Yet alone Anari's underneath him, who's a foot shorter than him. Nah, bro. I'm good. So I'll tip Dogs on the condition that Serraldo changes it up and actually stops this kicking game. If he doesn't, then it's going to be a long day for Anari Tuwala.
This is the fascinating fixture of the round, probably the game of the round in my opinion, even considering the Melbourne outs. I don't fucking want to watch Penrith on Thursday.
South.
Well, that's the clown show of the round. It's different. In my opinion, Dogs are now shortening to 1.5. You cunts just don't fucking learn with this Roosters team, do you? You can't be like, oh, well, they scored 60. Now let's shorten them.
They always shorten them, though.
You can't. Opened this line.
4.5.
This line of 1.5 right now was the same line they opened the Dolphins game at.
Yeah, I know.
Dolphins without Herbie and all of their forward pack.
Well, they scored 60,
who are dirt.
They scored 60.
And now Dogs, who have literally not spent a single game of this year outside of the top 4, are 1.5 as well.
Listen.
So
Dogs have been awful big games.
Just out of principle, it's not a big game, cunts, Roosters. Just out of principle, I'm going to go Dogs. 1.5, is that it? Can they lose?
Oh, yeah.
If I have to watch 80 minutes of Rina Kama on Nwanga Nituase and fucking Anari on Tupou, yeah, that's pretty annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. But you're assuming that the Roosters are going to get down there and stay down there consistently enough to actually take advantage of this fucking advantage that they have of 7-foot wingers against 6-foot ones.
But it's my point. Roosters' stupidity.
Roosters haven't really met much resistance in the last 2 weeks. Manly are more of a traffic cone than a team at this point of the year, and Dolphins are not much better. They're like half a traffic cone. So now you're playing, arguably, in my opinion, actually, when you look at deep dive into the stats, probably the best defense in the NRL.
No, bro, Penrith.
And what the Dogs do really well does set them up to get the worst out of what Roosters really fuck it up when they fuck it up to themselves. You can't bring Egan Butcher into the starting lineup. This cunt's a walking knock-on. So that's for starters. And losing players like Wong and stuff, it's not that Wong is the next coming of Sonny Bill Williams himself. It's what ensues of who comes on for him, right? Players like Egan Butcher, awful players. And I really think that the Dogs are going to push to try and get a top 4 spot, circling this game and the Melbourne game next week after destroying Warriors. That... Do I feel like my money is more safe on, oh, well, maybe if I bet on Roosters and they kick to Nwanga Nituase enough, they might win? Or I feel like 75% of this game is going to be played down the Roosters' end. Can they defend for 8 hours and end up completing at a high enough rate to get down the other end? Because Savala and Walker, they still don't have the
kicking game,
the long kicking game that's going to be able to match something like Matt Burton's where it kicks 200 meters every set. So between the kicking game, not having the forwards, their general tendencies to fucking drop the ball 100 times and make stupid decisions and give away penalties from that point forward. And the Dogs having Serraldo and Gus to be able to game plan around the disadvantages on the wings, I feel like my money's more safe on the Dogs. I will take the Dogs of war.
Yeah.
And I'm lay 1.5. Is that it?
Well,
I feel like this should be more
what I
like
was going to
4.
say, and I hope they clean it up this week, but I actually thought this was an incredible stat. And for once, I'm looking at the stats and not looking at the narrative. Dogs have the most penalties conceded in the competition. Now, listen, the way Roosters win this game is you give a bunch of penalties. Because if you do that, they'll get themselves down the other side of the field and kick it to Mark. And I think you're more saying it's a if Mark catches it. It's no if.
No, I'm saying he'll
If
catch
he
it.
kicks the ball in the air, it's done. They'll give up. I mean, it's either tackled in the air in this sport, because we've seen it the last 10 weeks. They just call tackled in the air for no reason. Or he's going to score over Onari or whoever, right? Rimakama. Fine. But I agree with your point that Roosters overarching, and no matter what happens, when I ever speak positive of Roosters, they can always fuck it up to themselves. You know that with Roosters. It's inevitable. It can happen at any moment in time. And coming off 2 wins in a row, it'd be a good spot for them to fuck it up. But we'll see.
I will say what you mentioned earlier. If Tracy comes to fullback and it's Karaz Crichton or something on the wing, this might be the biggest bet of the round on Dogs.
Yeah.
If it's 1.5.
Look, I hope that's what they do, because I'm worried at 1.5 that these idiots are going to actually, even if they pull 3 off, can Dogs score 20 points?
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Easily.
On to the game of the round.
Fuck me.
This is actually, now we've got through all the garbage. Now it's the goat shit. This is the shit I like.
Yeah. This is where it starts getting good. On Saturday, 3 p.m. My Gold Coast Titans are going to the Cronulla Sharks to play at PointsBet Stadium. What's left of the Sharkies. And I was doing a bit of digging in terms of our performance against the spread on every team. Did you know our most profitable team is Titans? 13 and...
Well, that's probably back-to-back years.
Yeah.
Last year we smashed
Titans. We are
the
the Titans whisperers of the NRL, because we know exactly when they're going to give up and when they're going to fire up. And we're going to have to wait and see who's playing and who's not playing for us to make a decision.
Well, everyone's playing.
The loss of Jesse Ramian brings a back-yourself hatred player, Marawani Harodi, into the centres, while Billy Burns also comes in for suspended Britton Nakora.
What happened to Ramian?
Ramian, I don't know. I think it's a hand injury. Right. He's tired. Okay. 2 new faces on the bench, with Calhoun back from suspension and Daniel Atkinson returning, because Craig Fitzgibbon watches the podcast.
Yes.
On the Titan side of things, a huge boost, or is it a boost? Who knows, with the way these morons play. With the Titan skipper Tina Fa'asuamaleaui being named to return, only 3 games out with a knee injury. Also, in addition to this, Phil Sami and Mo Fodawaker are back. Cleus Haas and Campbell Gillard moved to the bench. Brian Kelly has entered concussion protocols. A point spread of 10.5.
No. More importantly, Kinney is also 18th man. That's
Kinney
important.
is the 18th
That's
man.
very
After,
important.
why would you run this cunt out there with an injured neck when you cunts have already given up? But
who?
Titans.
Oh yeah, it's Titans.
But anyway,
listen.
Look, from my perspective, I can't even look at Sharks after the last round.
Listen. Let me just set this straight for Titans. It's a simple case. This should not be whatever price it is. Is it 8 now?
Yeah.
Whoa. Wow, bro. If this gets a 6, fucking hell.
Yeah.
It's getting ridiculous. All right. Listen, Titans. This is truly all your fans are on the line in this game. If you idiots go out there and not cover. If I had under duress, it would be it wouldn't even be under duress. I would call it blow up of the season if Titans don't cover 8 in this game. I promise you.
But what if they go and
listen,
quit?
If you idiots are going to go and play Penrith with half your team out and come back 24-0 down and now go to Cronulla and lose by more than 8 with Harodi, Billy Burns, and who else is playing in this stupid team? Atkinson's back. Calhoun and co. They're awful. Have you seen McInnes's eye? It's literally a black eye. They're running out there on fumes, bruv, after last week. And Titans, you can't say, we got all our players. Listen, say this to anyone. Say this to the club. I don't give a shit. If you cunts don't cover 8, I would literally dissolve the club immediately. These cunts don't deserve the players they have. Because you idiots Down 24-0 to the greatest team ever. The modern era greatest team of all time. Literally fought tooth and nail and were robbed by the trainer. And now you're going to go to Cronulla, who are 10 times worse than this team, and you cunts are 10 times better, and you're going to fuck it up by not covering 8 or 11, whatever was sent out on premium. You cunts are going to be the dumbest team ever.
They are, though.
Exactly. So when they do lose by more than 11, I won't be surprised. I know Titans.
Yeah, nothing will surprise me with these cunts. What's your thoughts and analysis on the Sharks side?
They're awful. Well, don't get it twisted. No, both centers are out. Both second row. No, Teague's there, but he doesn't count as a player anyway. Their best second rower, who's out for the rest of until finals, which is ridiculous. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but they've lost both centers.
Iro
and Ramian are both
Ramian are out.
I feel like they've lost a forward for some reason. Kafusi's not there. Or is he back?
No, he's out.
Well, it's Rudolph. So there's big
Fanua
issues.
Blake, Rudolph, Billy Burns, Teague, McInnes, Atkinson, Calhoun, Hazelton, and Hamlin Uele.
Hines is not going to be confident anymore because he fucked it up to Dragons. They're awful. Now, when Sharks truly piss us off, they seem to do it in particular periods where we think we have hope in them. Now, what will really annoy me is if they do... This will annoy me in any way unless Titans cover. Literally, if Sharks go out there and annihilate Titans, I'll scream at Titans for being idiots, and I'll scream at Sharks for where was this last week with more players. Because Dragons are like... They're worse than this Titans team, truly, with everyone, especially if Kinney plays.
You know, like, why we've really set ourselves up to fuck ourselves over in this game?
I know.
Because in this 4-year run of Sharks supposedly being gone and not actually being gone,
Correct.
there hasn't been one game that we've come on and been like, I'm putting a line through these cunts, fuck them.
Yeah, I know. And that's when they're going to win.
And that's when they're going to go and win.
Well, no, actually, no. Fast forward back about 2 months ago, just before you went to Iran, when they played Melbourne, you put a line through them, and what did they do? They went and won.
Yeah.
The fucking idiots against Melbourne with no one.
Yeah.
Why can't they do it again? Who knows? It's Sharks.
In a game like this, we had to just pull the trigger on the right side, which was the Titans at 11. Obviously, we've seen that come into 8.5 since team list came out. Tino, Fodawaker, Sami coming in. In addition to that, Nikora and Ramian, which whoever was watching Sharks games every week, these are two important players, right? And replacing them with Burns and Hiroti next to fucking Hines. God, I hope that for their own sake they go left for most of this game. Fuck me. Now, I feel like all Titans need to really do is
run out there with the brain.
Try in this game and they'll cover 11. This is not the Sharks offense of old where they can just generate points out of nowhere. We saw, 14 points to Dragons, 14 points to Souths, who are two awful sides. 30 whatever to fucking Cowboys. When in the review of that pod, I came and said, Sharks have all put fucking 60 on these guys. Their attack hasn't clicked for months and months, but what's infuriating is Titans, as you said, you're going to go lose to the Penrith trainer and then lose to South by 2, and then just like, they'll fuck this, we don't want to play anymore. After getting everyone back. My hope is that seeing Tino across from themselves in the fucking locker room.
Yeah, but they don't.
That like, oh, this guy ran out after 3 weeks of having no fucking kneecap. And you know what? We're annoying enough that after literally being last for 6 months straight, putting Souths there for 1 minute and then taking them off it, like us lifting Souths off the bottom of the thing, now we're going to go and beat Sharks or put Knights there. That's my hope. I genuinely think Titans going to go and win.
I will happily get myself...
I'm disgusted in Sharks.
I will happily get myself out of this bet as soon as game day comes. I will happily take Sharks at whatever price you give me because I know these cunts are going to fuck it up in advance. I reckon they'll... If we get like the value, they lose by 10 will be the most fortunate thing.
Yeah.
I know the bet, the bet is 100% the right thing to do, but I know Titans. I know them already.
I'm so disgusted in Sharks. If I had upset alert, I would take Titans.
Nah.
Fuck this team.
Nah,
they might win.
They should win.
No. Not they can win because they might win. Like they might just go out there and win.
Yeah. But I know, like, mentally...
I'm so disgusted in Sharks, bro.
I know they're going to win, though. Like, nah, I'm good. I've taken Titans, but I can't even look at them. I can't look at this game. I forgot. I was saying before, 7 of the 8 games are go. I'm taking this one out. 6 of the 8 games are go.
I agree with you. Fuck this game. We can move on to my game where...
Oh, no, I like this game. I remember who's back. He's back for me. Okay. You must watch the podcast.
All right. The Brisbane Broncos, or what's left of them, take on the Redcliffe Dolphins, or what's left of them at Suncorp in a local derby. A spread of 2.5 for the All Blacks. That's pretty short in my opinion, but we'll find out who's playing where based on the fucking tragedy of last week where the snipers were out at Amy Park. Ben Hunt and Billy Walters form a new halves pairing after Adam Reynolds and Ezra Mann both go out. Corey Pakes is the new 9, and Tyson Smoothie joins the bench. Karapani comes in on the wing for me after Cobbo gets ruled out, the third victim of the cunt with the Barrett 50 cal in the fucking stands of Melbourne. Madge definitely watches the podcast because he did what I told him to, and didn't put Walsh to 5'8" like a moron. So thank you, Madge. Francis Moller's suspension for doing nothing sees Mark Nichols back to prop, where I doubt Dolphins have won a game with them starting him. Kenny Bromwich joins the bench for his first and last NRL game since round 8. Jack Averillo has been named at centre with Tavita Nafahu on the wing after they slotted into those positions last week and combined well on the left edge and scored their only points.
He was good.
A spread of 2.5.
All right.
What did I say last week? Was that it?
All right. Let's just take back one step, right? If I just could copy paste what I said about Warriors, I'll say it again. The spread is wrong. Dolphins should be more than 2.5. But mentally, are these cunts fucked? Now, what I don't like in this sport is a lot of things, and why am I... All right, I'm going to explain why I'm going to say these cunts are mentally fucked. I'll explain it. Between Warriors and Broncos, I'll explain. Because I think people in depth don't understand, they all go out there and try every week. No, they don't, right? Don't get this twisted. We watched Titans give up to South last week, taking Penrith to golden point, so shut the fuck up. Anyway, mentally, these cunts are fucked because, one, and I'm going to bring Penrith into this is all Penrith's fault. Let's start it off. No team can compete to the level of them winning 9 in a row. And seeing Penrith being above them on the table must be so fucking demoralising after they were 17th. Let's start with that. This is every team, though. This is not just Penrith and Brisbane and Warriors. Now, take 2. They've watched every single week. Brisbane are not as much as Warriors. Warriors is more... We actually we were top 3. We're much better. Brisbane weren't to that level, but we were top 3. We were proving everyone wrong. We're fucking on fire. This is the best team. This is the best iteration. And then, Metcalf's gone and we've given up. Brisbane, they're kind of the late bloomers. And once they won 5 in a row and then eventually fucked it up to Melbourne.
To Para.
To Para. Oh, yeah, to Para for you. When they lost to Para, it wasn't the end of the world. Because you could see that in the first 10 minutes before the snipers came out against Melbourne.
And you can see South on the schedule.
You could see South on the... Oh, yeah, they raped South. They raped South, and then they went and played Melbourne and actually played good. Yeah. So they had no... But now that they've seen a Barrett shotgun, a sniper take these 2 cunts out, I don't know the mentality of Brisbane. And Brisbane are more apparent than Warriors to give less effort, because when Brisbane give no effort, it's... Like, defense that we've seen just be absolutely torn apart. Manly, who are the traffic cone of this sport, which you said before, dismantled full-strength Brisbane. Like, literally everyone but Ben Hunt. And absolutely destroyed them. Not because Brisbane didn't have Reynolds or Mam or fucking Walsh or Haas or Carrigan. Just because they're mentally just not there. And I don't know if I can trust that in Brisbane. Now, in terms of a betting perspective, you can't bring in my narrative, even though I'm fucking 50-0 when this shit happens, because they always seem to fucking go my way. But from a point spread perspective, there is no reason for this to be 2.5. It should be at least 6. Dolphins suck ass. Did we not see this last week? You fucking idiots. But no one's going to think like me. So you cunts that watch this podcast should sit there and go, oh yeah, Brisbane's bet of the week. Yeah, what the fuck are we doing? Let's just take it. But if you sit there and extrapolate what I've just said and go, maybe they could fuck it up to Dolphins. And maybe they could. They could genuinely lose. But you have to take your bets and you have to take Brisbane. So -2.5, sure. Let's take them. Let's see how fucking mentally driven this team is, who 1 week gave up to Manly and then go rape South for no reason. Give up in the earlier the parts of the season, but then Walsh and shit are out. They go beat Dogs in the middle of the rain 34-0. Yeah, I'm going to mentally go with this team. Fuck no. If they lose, they lose. I just have to take as per what the bookies have presented me.
I appreciate your take. Some of what you're saying is true and to be reckoned with when you're looking at Brisbane, because they have had a tendency in years past in this exact situation to be like, well,
It's
too hard. We can't do it. And actually, this was the fixture last year where we came in and planted Kevy Walters' fucking cemetery into the middle of the pot and said, you cunts actually went out there and lost 46-0 to the fucking Dolphins, and your franchise cunts when they were still in the race to make the 8. Mm-hmm. God, that was awful. But I feel like they have come a ways in the last 12 months. They are not that Broncos team anymore. And even when the losses piled up at the start of this season, a few were egregious, but a few were a bit unlucky. I was saying that they're not actually far off getting better performances at that stage. And they were trending in the right direction. The Para game, they got ambushed. They only lost by 2 points in the end. And even though I screamed at them, they did bounce back and annihilate the existence of Souths. And as we mentioned before the snipers came out, they were ready for fucking war against Melbourne. I think this is a wounded tiger theory game where the entire Brisbane club for the last 7 days, from the point that Reynolds was sniped, all they've heard is, oh, we'll put a line through him. Oh, fuck, they can't do anything without this 35-year-old halfback that...
It's awful.
Has done nothing in this year anyway, and probably cost these cunts a grand final win when that was his job. Oh, yeah, now what are we going to do now? We can't even... You on the fucking review, and you're not the only one with this take, mind you, said they're a chance of missing the 8.
Yeah. If they lose
where
this,
I'm like, all right, Brisbane. Okay, sure, Adam Reynolds is out, and now you have to put Ben Hunt to halfback. And how unfortunate for you guys, you get to run out Reece Walsh at fullback. He's no good. Katoni Sags is not even that good at centre. Haas, yeah, he'll be the Australian fucking starting front row, but what's he supposed to do without Reynolds? Carrigan, yeah, he could probably captain Queensland one day, but there's no Reynolds. Fuck, what are we going to do?
I'm not saying they should be given a break, that they don't have talent to beat this Dolphins team. I will still annihilate them come the podcast.
I'm not speaking on you, mate, because I respect your footy IQ, but what I'm saying is the casual fan, which
of course.
The markets are dictated by the casual fan. They are listening to their mates at the pub and media outlets being like, oh, well, Reynolds is out, they're gone. Whereas, realistically...
He's awful.
Accounting for the fact that Reynolds is out, you can't tell me they're fucking $1.70 to this Dolphins team. Come on, boys. Dolphins, if you want to talk about outs, fuck me.
They have everyone out.
Without... Every single week we come on and say the same garbage. Farnworth, Plath, Gilbert,
Molo now,
Saifidi, Fleglo, who hasn't been there for 18 months, Kafusi again. Those are way bigger outs, in my opinion, than fucking Reynolds and Mam. Who gives a shit? At least these cunts have Ben Hunt to replace him. Dolphins legit have an 18-year-old playing centre for this guy.
No, listen,
what is this shit?
I understand.
Sick of it, mate.
But look...
And, okay, your theory of, well, they've seen all the injuries happen, they've given up on the season. Why does that not also apply to Dolphins?
No. Because their injuries, like you said, we've repeated them 5,000 times and they keep showing up, the fuckwits.
Yeah, no, but...
They didn't have half these players.
From the point Herbie went down...
They beat Warriors. They beat them.
Okay, first of all, they shouldn't have.
Yeah, but they won.
Right? They were up 10-0 when Herbie was still on.
They would have dismantled
As soon as Herbie went off, these cunts went on a 16-0 run.
Yeah.
And like I said, the only reason this was pick'em last week is because they scored the garbage try to put the dagger into the wires for you. But
no.
Outside of that, last week,
I want to address that game because that game could be the legit equivalent of this game. Why did the Warriors lose that game?
Because they suck ass.
No.
They don't have the talent that Brisbane have. All right, them losing Metcalf and Barnett is not the same as these motherfuckers losing.
No,
Adam
because
Reynolds.
Brisbane have more talent. I agree.
Yeah.
But
that Wars team running out two. You don't think they want Haas and Walsh?
No. But I know Warriors have more heart than Brisbane.
Of course they do. Yeah.
And I know Dolphins have more heart than Brisbane. Do they have the talent to go with them? I don't know, but. Do I sit there and just blindly take Brisbane? Yeah, because it's 2.5. But other
honestly,
than that, no.
If these cunts lose to Dolphins, when we come on the review, I'm going to mute your mic for 10 minutes. and annihilate this franchise.
Yeah, but I gotta say, I called it.
I know you do. No, you'll get your like little fucking.
Good.
You can tap your toes into a victory now. I might bring uranium onto the pod for these motherfuckers.
Wait,
Wake up.
What did I think you need more shit for dogs. Truly, if they fuck it up.
Nah, that's fine.
No,
Because you can't be Nwanga Nitawase.
What about Titans? Can I bring uranium?
Yeah. I'll bring a spare one. If these cunts don't cover 10.5, you can drop it on them.
All right, done.
What about...
The next game doesn't even. It doesn't even matter who covers the next game.
No, I was going to say Warriors. If you can't lose to Dragons, fuck me.
No.
But
It'd be
they're just
it would
old
be
news.
so
Yeah,
funny.
That would be too funny.
Yeah.
Moving on, 7:30 p.m. The South Sydney Rabbitohs are taking on the Parramatta Seals, and fuck me, the spread is short.
I want to
but
say the next 3 games
it's
are like what you say in a circus. This is the prelude until the last one because Knights get to go last. I don't think you could have
schedule
scheduled
makers-
better 3 games.
It's almost as if we made the schedule.
It's insane.
I know. Here we go.
Just one change with Lucky Hubner suffering a head knock last week and being replaced by Shaq Mitchell, who still thinks it's Indigenous round. Cody Walker is closing in on a return from a hamstring injury,
And he's on the extended reserve, so keep an eye on that one, ladies and
Why would he
gentlemen. That
play?
will move the point spread.
Why would he play?
Unlike Wade Egan.
Why would he play?
Jason Riles sticks with the same 17 because he thinks he's coaching Penrith. 3.5.
Oh, sorry. Alangi is also on the reserves.
Yes.
That's a very important.
but
The reports are that he's probably not going to play, so I didn't
Good.
bother messaging.
I don't want him to play.
Seabass, Joel Coddington, shout out to you guys. The Parramatta Eels won but didn't cover against the Cowboys for no reason last week. I cannot believe the spread is 3 in this game. My hope, and I don't want to give this game too much analysis because there's really no point.
Yes, there is.
South suck ass.
Okay.
The only team that they fucking would beat in this sport
Titans.
was last week's Titans without Tino and Fodawaka and whatever.
Kinney.
And even in the midst of that happening, Souths, in my opinion, as I mentioned I still don't know why they won or how they won. That's
For us.
more in my mind the mirage of Titans managing to lose. And the way Para's been playing since Moses came back for the last 6 weeks, this should be, again, 6.5. South suck ass. There's no reason to take them in any capacity. They have no fucking forwards whatsoever. And truly, they should get destroyed in this game.
This is, in my opinion, the bet of the week. 3.5. Is that it? I mean, Para has been very good. The last 2 months, well, since Moses come back, even before Moses came back, they've been very, very good. Yes, they haven't got the results in certain games that they've got in the past, but if anyone's okay, this point spread is now 3, and truly, as a member of the ambassador, it will be sent out immediately after this is done. Seahawks is not playing. I'll tell you right now, he won't play because they play on Thursday. So you think he's going to play on a 5-day turnaround the next game? That's not going to happen. There's no way they're going to bring him back early for Para when their season is essentially saved by last week to not play him against Dragons and give him 5 days more rest. So Seahawks is not going to play. Neither is Alangi, according to reports, and that's fine. I think they need Seahawks more than Para need Alangi because Papali has been great at fullback. He's a live wire. He's like Jai Gray Walmart version, basically. But the Para backline, Dylan Brown finds his spot again at centre, which we didn't see the best of him last week, but this week he's on TAS, which kind of nullifies each other. He is a good defensive player. The backline on paper for Para looks great outside of Hawkins. From 1 to 7, they look fantastic. And South on the other end also have no forwards. Para's forwards are all there. They're playing much better than they were in the past, and good luck to whoever's playing hooker because Riley Smith's going to have an absolute field day. Para should literally be 6.5. I would put that Para 13 plus. They're going to destroy this South team.
Yeah, I agree. Ashton Ward was awful last week, and there was nothing to suggest that he won't be as awful this round. I've been saying it for 3 months. Humphries has done nothing since about round 5 when he was anointed as the next coming. He sucks. Jai Gray's awesome, and he will annoy me when he gets the ball. And him and Latrell, they can do damage, but luckily for Para, it's the Penasini and Lomax edge, which they can actually match them probably like for like talent-wise. Obviously, Latrell can get over anyone, but, you know...
He's been passing recently.
How healthy is he even? I know he had moments of brilliance last week, but it wasn't the normal Latrell that can just take the ball and destroy a team that the way he's capable of. And Souths, in my opinion, they got their win. They did their job. They beat Titans, and I'm not sure how many more times they can muster it up. And I've, like you said, Chris, and I said earlier, 6.5 is what I would put this at. Fuck me, it's Souths. These guys lost 9 in a row in a sport where teams accidentally rock up and win games, and they win. But against Titans by fucking 2 points, and now they're 2.5 again. Are you insane?
What Para with all their injuries are the same point spread as Dragons next week? That's the early spread. That's ridiculous. Para are 10 times better than Dragons.
I agree with you that Cody Walker won't play. My preference would be that
He plays and he goes to pick him.
No, that he plays and we get like
1.5.
yeah, because then
Wow.
I don't even know how much I'm gonna put on Para. That's fucked.
That's so
Come on,
short.
it's out.
Yeah.
Moving on to Sunday where
There we go.
it begins, baby. My West Tigers. Shout out to Harry. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to you if you want it. Shout out to myself. Waving the Tigers flag after they went into their bye after destroying Bulldogs.
It's just how I can't.
And now they are going to Allianz Stadium, of all fucking places,
Why?
which is really annoying. I really wish this was at Lightchart. Playing the Manly Seagulls, who I correctly predicted have quit on the season about 4 weeks ago. And Benji has been cooking during the bye.
He didn't do shit. Did he change anything?
Stafford returns to give Manly a chod after Brent Naden drops the reserves. Taylor May has recovered from his head knock against Stephen Crichton, who still was yet to be fucking suspended for once in his miserable life.
He's not allowed.
Alex Seyfarth, 800 ground suspension, sees 12 move to the back row, and Fanua Bolle joins the starting side at prop. Charlie Murray's a new face on the bench. So Bolle back, we saw the tandem of him
and Terrell.
Terrell killing it early in the year, so that's fantastic. Big Royce, shout out to you, Harry, is also on the bench, ready for his 5 minutes stint each start at halftime. The spiritual leader of Manly, Jake Trbojevic, has entered concussion protocols after being pumped by Josh Papali last week. That was unfortunate to watch. So that means Jazz Tufunga goes to lock. Jake's brother Ben returns from concussion into the back row. Lehigh is back on the wing from a shoulder injury. Ruben Garrick moves to centre. Tommy Talau to the bench. A spread where the Tigers are getting 5.5 points. In my opinion, this is the bet of the round.
No, it's not. It's Tigers.
Tigers are going to destroy the existence of Manly. Fuck Manly. This cunt gave up.
I know they have.
Manly gave up in week 4 when Cherry Evans announced that he's giving up on the club and going to Roosters. And the demise has been slow, and there has been a few blips in the radar here and there. But this team has not looked the same from that point, and progressively are getting worse by the week. You've been coming on for years saying that Manly's offense terrorizes teams and puts fear into the opposition. And that has been true up until the last 3 weeks where these motherfuckers have averaged 7 points.
Oh, God.
Turbo played them all. Cherry Evans played them all. Brooks played them all. Saab played them all. Garrick played them all. And these pricks went out there, scored 7 points around. Now, normally I'm the analytics guy, but, just for the next 30 seconds, I'm going to be the vibes guy. The vibes have never been lower in Manly. Seabold, he gives these cunts homework. They don't even do it. They go up to him and they're like, my dog ate it. Fuck you. We don't even want you at this club, cunt. The old boys have been coming out in the media and been saying, who can we get to replace this dick? Can we get Matty Ballin coaching? Yeah, the boys will probably respond to him a bit more.
No, they won't.
They, as I mentioned, literally from the point Olakawatu came back and sacrificed his body for these cunts to lose 40-4, they've given up. Got raped by Roosters. Literally had all the ball last week and couldn't score against 12 men. And now you're putting them 5-point favourites for what? Literally, outside of playing it in Melbourne for you, have not had a good game for about 6 weeks' time. So, naturally, Tigers coming off a bye. We know how valuable that is. And the vibes, maybe the product's not great. And maybe the executions are not great between these players. But the vibes are high in Tiger Town. Any podcast you listen to, these boys are talking about how much they're buying in for Benji, how much the results matter for them, how much they are invested in turning around this club. And you have seen that in their performances as of late. The 36-2 scoreline to Penrith was deceiving. They tried their tails off. Penrith are just too fucking annoying. And outside of that, Tigers have gone win-loss, win-loss, win-loss for the last 6 games. Coming off a big win where at least they destroyed Bulldogs, where Manly lost by 200 to these cunts. So I'm not laying 5.5 with Manly. They can get fucked. Now also losing Jake Trbojevic in a forward pack that has cluster injuries. No Olakawatu, no Paseka, no Aloe, no Jake Trbojevic. You're running out Burbo and Co. as the forwards. I'm good. Claws up, baby. Tigers will win this outright. Bring the fucking pain, boys. Go Luai. You're leaning Manly, aren't you?
This is how I'm going to watch on Sunday.
If you take Manly, you can do the review pod by yourself.
So I'm taking Manly.
Fuck's sake.
Listen,
Now they're going to play for you.
I'll tell you why. It's all because of these idiots. What do you think they did on their bye? They're probably going around fucking Belmore putting the hood up for no reason the whole fucking 2 weeks. Fuck these cunts. Look. Now everyone has hope in these morons. 2 weeks ago, everyone gave up on them.
Tigers suck. I'm not saying they're good.
Yeah, but...
This is all Manly. Fuck these cunts.
And you know how you said they only scored 7 points?
Now they're going to go score 70.
Conveniently, they're going to go score 70.
No, Tigers can defend.
Okay, you've got there is a window of time, right? I've seen who they play next week, and I already know 70's coming up that game.
Yeah.
So technically, you're right. They should actually not score 70 in this game. But Tigers have an inept ability that no matter who they name or who the other team names, they can play like morons. And they're a shit team. So when they play like morons, they just let teams score at will.
I actually challenge. I don't think that they are morons. I think they're just shit.
Okay. They're just shit. Now, what Manly does to awful teams, and regardless if Cherry has quit or not, they usually destroy them. Now, Tigers last time around, Manly, in my opinion, could not play any worse that game, and Tigers had nothing, and they still beat them by 18, right? Manly were absolutely atrocious. And similar to this lineup, I think it was just Jake that was also there. Everyone else was exactly the same.
That's the last time Manly have actually dismantled someone. Round 13 to Broncos.
And I think I want to wish Tigers, and truly, again, the point spread is just going to lead me one way. How can I lay 5 with Manly? They're awful. But in my fucking brain, I'm like, Tigers going to go there and fuck it up. And, I know Manly have given up on the season, and I'm not saying they're going to turn their season around. They're fucking awful. But it's Tigers.
What are you saying then? Are you just saying Tigers suck and...
No, I don't trust Tigers. How can I trust them?
Okay, but the alternative is trusting Manly. And I trust them that they've given up.
Yeah, I trust they've given up.
Tigers might go and play shit, and that's a risk I'm willing to take. Because anytime you bet on anyone, they might play shit. But Manly legit have fucking mailed it in.
I agree. Manly has mailed it in.
Did you see that defense? What the fuck they were doing last week against Ethan Strange?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, wow. How do you bounce back from that?
Yeah, but you look at the other side. Luai's just going to stand there like a fucking traffic cone while he's trained on his bye.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like the Tigers players are actually invested in ending the year in a respectable way.
That's
Whereas Manly legit cannot wait for this season to end.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck this.
I know. Tigers will be invested and lose this game by 6.
Sure.
Like morons.
I would rather that than lay 5 with Manly. These guys go out there and score 7 again.
I don't
with
teams,
everyone.
I despise teams that think they're sick cunts going into their bye and then come out playing like morons. And they do think they're the greatest team on turf after beating Bulldogs. And truly, they beat the fuck out of them too. It wasn't that they beat them off luck. They beat the shit out of Dogs and beat them in the rain. Manly are the complete opposite. And knowing this sport is just a fucking full circle. Dogs will beat Manly. Manly will beat Tigers. Tigers will beat Dogs. I mean, I've seen this sport enough to know that when it gets to this price and Manly's only laying 1 try, the Tigers are going to have all the hope and everyone's going to back it. No one's going to fucking back Manly. Don't get it twisted. Even though they may be favourite, no one's going to back the spread of -4 after the abomination they showed last week and the last 2 weeks that they've played without Jake Trebojevic as well. Holy fuck, they're awful. And on paper, Tigers actually look somewhat better, but it's Tigers. Literally, I'm trying to think. I reckon I would fade Manly if they played Knights, Cowboys, Dragons.
Right, you're putting Tigers below Knights.
No, I'm not. In this spot, I am.
Off the bye?
Yeah.
Thinking they're gone?
Yeah. In this spot, I would put them below all of that. Who else? Titans, if Kinney and shit played, 100%. There is so many teams I would back ahead of this team. I would rather take Warriors. If it was Warriors Manly, I would be like, what the fuck's this? How's this only 4?
Can I say something that I actually know you this so well, and I already knew you were going to say all of these things, and I've already prepared the rebuttal for you. Everything you're saying about Tigers is true.
Yeah, they're awful.
Right? And in an ideal world, this would be Manly $1.80, and then we would take it.
Oh, you're saying it's not short enough?
The issue with what you're saying is, all that's true,
and it's still 4.5.
But how can you, with a straight face, sit there and take Manly at $1.50?
You can't.
That's the problem.
You can't.
As the essence, that's the issue.
No, but that's like half the games this week.
Yeah, exactly. That's why the bets were fucking picked for us even before we came on the podcast.
Yeah, like what's the point?
How the fuck can we go and lay 11 with Sharks?
Impossible.
How the fuck can we go lay 5 with Manly, who are literally playing like the dirt of the sport? How can we take 4.5 with Dragons? They're literally going to die.
How can we take
how
one with Roosters?
How in God's name can anybody take Souths under a converted try? So like 70% of the game's already done.
Roosters.
So for that reason, I get what you're saying. I'm not saying Tigers are fucking one of the big 4 banks and you can put your money on them. They can fuck up any game at any time. They are the type of team that would destroy Dogs, go into their bye and come out, have 60% of possession and just not score for whatever reason. They just can't score. But that doesn't justify taking Manly at 4.5. Fuck those cunts.
All right.
Moving on to the game of the back yourself.
What? Because Knights are involved.
Any game where Knights are involved. You know we're involved with them, baby. The Newcastle Knights are taking the show on the road after the fucking circus that was the Friday night game where they bent over the Penrith. They're going to Townsville and they're going to get a win, baby. Let's hope. Because that's probably the last time they can get a win this year with the way these morons have been playing. And Adam O'Brien was like, last week wasn't good enough. I'm going to change it up again. Because that's all he fucking does. There's no continuity with these cunts. Doesn't matter how good or shit you play, you are probably going to lose your spot if you're in the night spine. Cowboys. Jordan McLean is back. To fill the massive void left by Cohen Hess's season-ending suspension. Carl Lawton joins the bench after serving a 2-game suspension, while Thomas McHaley and Harrison Edwards also return.
I didn't realize how bad that Cohen Hess was. How did he not get sin bin?
That's what I was screaming for. How the fuck's that on a sin bin?
Anyway.
Marley Bitungani,
Who?
Nicholas Linaz, and Caden Lars make way.
Okay. And
Teenager Connor Vitano makes his NRL debut at fullback with Dane Gagai returning to the centres and Fletcher Hunt dropping out. You had a good run, Fletcher. Tyson Frizzell comes into the starting side at lock in the absence of Crossland.
why are you laughing Crossland's out?
It took a suspension for this guy to get Crossland out of there. A new look bench includes the recalled Brodie Jones and New South Wales Cup captain Matty Arthur, who plays just his second NRL game this year.
So while you sit there and contemplate, they've won. It's over. I know you think Tigers have won, but I'm just as confident in Knights. Knights are off a 9-day turnaround, off actually playing okay against Penrith. They just got ambushed by
Knights could have a 90-day turnaround. It doesn't matter.
Now, Cowboys, you want to talk about give up? They came back, and someone needs to roll the clip. You know what? You could jump off the podcast and come back for this Cowboys segment. Just watch Moses' field goal. Just watch it a few times. Name me where the Cowboys players are. Coming back for no reason.
You have other sides like giving away penalties every fucking time there's a field goal attempt, smashing someone's leg, and the Cowboys players just like... And Moses is like, okay.
Okay, bro. With 3 minutes, I'll kick a field goal. Cowboys have given up on the air. Now... Fortunately, they got that stupid draw against Penrith. Otherwise, I would have them covered last at this point. There was, Titans I know will try towards the end, especially when Kinney and Tino and all this shit start playing consecutive games in a row. They're going to start winning for no reason. South also the same shit. Cam Murray is apparently due to come back next week as well. Convenient enough for you. So they're going to fucking annihilate Dragons. Dragons have already got their win. So has Tigers. Knights are the only other enigma. Now, Knights... Adam O'Brien wouldn't be changing shit for no reason.
If he would. That's his MO.
If he knew his fucking career is over. I still think they're going to keep him after this year. I don't know why, but they will.
Oh, God.
And Knights are slowly building a team to build... I actually genuinely don't understand what this cunt's doing. Because in my look, putting this rookie to fullback is like a temporary thing till the end of the year. And Kalen goes back there. But who knows? Maybe he wants to drop both halves and put Kalen back in the halves. Who knows with this cunt? And because obviously Dylan Brown's going to go there and play halfback next year. I don't know. I don't know what fucking Adam O'Brien thinks, drinks, or anything.
No. So next year's thing will just be Fletcher Sharp and Dillbacks.
Oh, I forgot about Sharp.
Yeah.
But obviously this is a temporary thing, but he keeps trying these different shit. There's no reason for Fletcher Hunt to be dropped. He wasn't that bad. If anything, he was awful the week before, and now he's dropped from the Penrith game.
Fletcher Hunt is one of the worst players I've ever seen. The fact that I
He wasn't
scrolled
that bad.
The fact that I scrolled team lists. No, he was that bad. The fact that I scrolled team lists and I saw Gagai at center, I automatically was like, oh, like, thank God this guy's out there. And God, when he played Fletcher Hunter fullback, that was like the peak of back yourself. But this guy, he hasn't played NRL before. He might not have the experience.
It doesn't matter.
But
It's
he
Cowboys.
must have talent because he is the under-19s New South Wales fullback. So that gives me a glimpse of hope. Outside of the fullback position,
It's Cowboys.
I feel like Knights kind of have him edged most parts of the field. The back line between
It's a big
Bradman,
edge.
Gagai, Dom Young,
I was gonna
and
get that.
Marju.
That's the better backline. 10 times better.
That's 10 times better than fucking Braden Burns and co. And Semi Valor, mate.
God,
Come
that's
on.
awful.
And Bradman was neutralised last week because they literally didn't have a tackle in the opposition 20. And even then, he got around Tungo to set up the McEwen bloke,
And,
who actually was playing
And
guard.
Labert and Purdue might be the better part of their backline. They're still not going to tackle
Oh,
best.
yeah, no. And even like Marju, I don't think there's one Cowboy outside back that can even tackle him if you just get into the 10-metre line, right? So how do they get to the 10-metre line? Knights forward pack looks pretty good. Leo
God.
Thompson, Frizzell,
Well, they don't have
McEwen looks quite good. He looks like he can be something for Newcastle in the future. As I mentioned, Frizzell back at lock.
Is Nemo out still?
Yeah, Neem's
Wow.
still out. Leo Thompson's still there. He wants to end his reign of terror at Newcastle in a good way.
This should
So,
be like 2.5.
I'm struggling to see how you can get to 7 with Cowboys, but I do see it at the same time because
it's nice.
we have Jake Arthur and Cogger and they have Dearden and Clifford, which is a very big mismatch between Clifford's long kicking game, Cogger kicking 2 meters, and then Dearden showing going at the Knights giving up. Is that enough to get them to 7-point favourites? I would say no. I would take the points with Newcastle
Points.
because I still think they are somewhat invested in. They have been trying, and even last week they tried. Cowboys, I know they're going to front run in this game, but I know that they're going to also leave the door open for Knights to do a couple of things and get into their fucking in-goal a couple of times. And because of that kind of rationale, I would just say fuck this shit, and I'll take Knights to win.
Points? Who needs points?
It's Knights, mate.
This could be 2.5, 4.5, 6.5, 10.5, 12. It doesn't matter. I'm taking Knights. It's Cowboys. They've given up on the year. Like this guy says about Manly, Cowboys essentially, it's over. It's already done. They're lucky they got that point. I'm telling you. They're literally not going to come last because of that point.
Fucking even Penrith are fucking us over there.
Penrith are going to fuck us over on the bottom of the table because I had Cowboys to come last. And everyone fucking laughed at me. These cunts suck ass. And they're even worse this week. How can they fucking get themselves the willpower after watching Moses kick a field goal in front of all 13 pairs of eyes because no one's going to chase him down because they're all fucking tired and literally fly over to the cross of the ditch, go back home, try, apparently, in an alternate universe and beat Knights by more than 8.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Conventionally, yeah, but I've seen too many pointless games in Townsville in the heat of 4 p.m. where the opposition is just as good as them on paper, if not better, but for whatever reason they just go there and play like dirt. And I'm not putting that past Newcastle.
No.
I feel like you haven't actually registered how disgusting Knights were last week.
Listen, Knights have won. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. They've already won. Full time. See if I'm that good. 30-20.
Wow, Knights gonna get to 30.
Oh, yeah. Wait till Cowboys' capitulation is something else. I'm more confident in Knights than literally everyone other than Melbourne.
Why?
Because I know Knights have won.
Oh God, I hope you're right. That'll be great.
Fuck Cowboys.
Cowboys, if they lose this game,
They could come last.
I just don't see it.
Titans need 3 wins. And if they conveniently get one this week, it would be good. But I don't know if they can.
Well, I feel like this. How long has this pod been going for? 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah,
What,
fuck.
no, an hour 15. So now we're going to close shop with our 3 takeaways.
You can start us off.
So I'm going to
now.
start us
I'm
off.
still thinking.
I'm just going to start us off very easy. Dragons, if you cunts win, Xerophos Brothers, you cunts should be knighted as the greatest fans ever. And Warriors, I want you cunts all to come back, truly. Because I'm not going to scream at you anymore. I know you cunts are ass. So, and you cunts know as well because no one's commenting anymore.
Well,
They've given up.
they quit. I thought they would like still be at war with us until like round 26 and then drop out of the 4. I didn't think it'll come this quick.
All right. Next, Titans. Clarkey, the whole Titans organization, if you motherfuckers don't cover 11 that we've sent out on premium, you cunts should be on premium 1 because none of you cunts got it at 11. I already know. I hope this club just dissolves. I don't want to see this club ever again. I'll tell you right now, down the wires will be over come next week because I'll take the wires and change it to up the wires because I will bet against Titans for the rest of the year if they don't cover 11 in this game. The stupid idiots, especially if Kitty plays. Holy shit. Anyway, to the last one, Tigers, just don't fuck it up. I swear to God. Like, you cunts are so predictable if you fuck it up to Manly. Like, it's just, all right, yeah, you beat Dogs, you put the Horde out, you get fucking all your players back, and you go play Manly and lose to fucking Jazz Tavanga playing lock. Fucking idiots. Anyway, that's my 3 takeaways. And on top of that, Knights have already won.
All right, number 1 for me, extremely interested in what version of both teams we want to get in the Roosters-Dogs game. Can Roosters make some noise?
No.
And make a push for the top 8 and scare some teams in the week 1 of the finals. If they get it right on the day, they can beat anyone. We know this. Or if the Dogs stamp their authority and been like, we are top 4 and you cunts aren't, and you're just not going to beat us. That's what I kind of hope is the case. Number 2. Okay. With the bye on the horizon for them, there's only so many more games we're going to see Souths. So anytime they're running out there, it's go automatically in my eyes. And number 3, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to turn this into a game of charades. And I'm going to reenact what I want to see at 5:30 p.m. between Broncos and Dolphins.
You're going to get us demonetized. Why?
That's Broncos putting the dagger into Dolphins.
Why?
Stop putting these motherfuckers at 2.5.
All right.
They suck up.
I know they do. All right, peace.
All right, peace out, lads.